Hello, everyone, and welcome to Malts and Meeples, where I even have malt today with the Mountain Standard IPA. Sorry for the momentarily late start to this because I was wrapping up some podcast stuff and it took a little bit more time than I thought to get this set up. But that is good beer that I need a coaster for. And let's get down to the table. Let's take a look at Skytear Horde. This is a lane battling game. We have lanes here where we're going to be doing a lot of different things. I have the player aid down here. I'll keep that set up. And actually, let me move stuff slightly. This is my base of operation. A wind burner, which I have a special ability I can use. But let's go over the basics for the game. The basics of the game are going to be pretty simple. We're going to start by gaining mana. I already did. That's the amount of mana you gain in the corner here. So I'm up 4. And then refresh any exhausted cards. I don't have any cards in play the first turn, so that's kind of a moot point there. Next up, we summon a Horde card. And we're going up against this symbol of monsters. There are some common cards in there, but then we have the basically monsters here. Heroic 2, if this has any damage on it, it gets +2 attack, but doesn't have a come into play effect. So we can skip it over that. If we had more Horde cards, they would slide down this way. You always fill in, so it's this way. Next, I look at my deck of cards here, hand of cards, and I consider what I want to do. Because I need to take out this guy, which is a little bit tricky with what I have here. This guy is, solid, not that much health. He would die immediately. This guy, much better health, and probably the one that I'm going to put into play here for 2. But then I do have other things that I want to deal with. I think the first thing I want to deal with is I want to put this guy into play for 1. Then I will do this guy into play for 1 as well. He has a play ability, which is search your discard or deck for an attachment weapon with mana cost 1 or less and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. I don't have any discard at this point, so I'm looking for that attachment with a cost of 1 or less. I can really just look in the top corner, looking for things with a 1 cost. So, yeah. Ooh. And I technically have 1 more mana to spend on stuff here. So that actually works out really well. Because I have a few things that I can do here. First off, this guy has 3 health on him. He's a tower. He doesn't attack, but I can exhaust him. I can actually engage this guy here, and I'll engage this one here, and I'll exhaust him to then add 1, takes off 1 of his health, adds 1 attack to these guys for the remainder of the turn. You have, it's nice, they give you tokens to track all of those things. And then with my 1, I can play that onto this guy. And now let's go through kind of how attacks work. And I guess I should explain a little bit more as I get into this, how to win the game. First, how to lose the game. We run out of cards, unlikely to happen, or this is taken out, very possible to happen. The big thing to know about this is these are my cards. I have 2 cards left. I'll stick them over here. I don't draw new cards, so this is kind of a hand management game of when you play stuff out. There are ways to get new cards, but we're not to one of them yet. That's mainly going to be through defeating these guys. But if we run out of these cards, could happen. So we've gotten everybody ready, we've exhausted, we have everybody lined up. So next thing we do is we flip over one of these cards and tells us that this guy is getting +1 to his attack. 1 sword symbol in the corner on the right, so it's the furthest right card, gets +1 to their attack. They're going up against this, and basically no damage happens. I believe, or actually, no, I believe that 2 damage would come through to our tower here. But that, we're getting ahead of ourselves there, because now we look over here. Heroic doesn't apply. Trample, he's not going to let damage through, so he does 1 damage to my guy. My guy is going to hit back with 0, 2, 1, 2, 3. So 3 damage to this guy. That's great. We attack. That one is knocked down. My guy is taken out, goes to the discard pile. Over here, attacks. This one is just kind of in the way. Not really defending. It basically blocks that one from coming through. But the big thing is I can pull it down to be engaged. Actually, I'm not sure I can. So we're going to leave it up there. If this was in a lane where somebody was already engaged with somebody, it would block it from coming through. But that's basically how this goes. So I guess that guy would have dealt 2, but doesn't have trample. Oh, he does have trample. So 1 damage would come through to my base. Now, I have to discard for each plus token on there. So I'm discarding 2 Bushido of the Rose characters into my discard pile. So that's how I start to go through this deck. For every plus counter on these 4 cards, I'm going to be discarding. Now, both of these guys have heroic, so this guy will be attacking for 5, and this one will be attacking for 4, which means this guy will die next turn. I don't know that I necessarily want that to happen, so we gain back up energy. This ticks over. It's telling us how much we have to draw, and we draw 1 here. It's an epic monster again, of course. Other monsters gain +1 to attack. It's a Crawling Storm. Lovely. And now I'm going to move this guy here. Why? This guy only hits for 1. This guy's going to stay alive, and he is hitting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from heroic. This can stay here. I want to take out this guy for sure. They're hitting hard. But they don't have that much health left. So I'm going to spend 2, move that here. And, you know what? I'm going to exhaust this card, spending a mana to draw a card. That's one way to get something. And I'm going to bring him in. And I'll shift him around this way just so it's consistent to pull this one in. This guy has a fight ability, which is actually pretty nice in this situation. Yeah, nah, I'm going to take it out. I was going to say it's pretty nice in this situation, but the minions have trample. Trample basically means the damage, excess damage comes through. This guy could bounce back to my hand, but in that case he'd be defending 0 damage. He wouldn't die, I'd still have him, but 0 damage means I still take 1 to the base. So, let's see. Do I want to do anything? I could add +1 to everybody's attacks. Doesn't really matter at this point. So, we're going to go. Ooh, adding +2 to the attack power down here. So it has 1 health, 3 attack, and trample. Not much I can do about that, though I'm kind of glad that that one came out right now. Because, so we'll start over here. This guy is going to deal 3 damage, excuse me, 3 damage here because of that plus, which means 1's going to come through. But this guy has a fight. As long as he's engaged, he deals 1 damage to the portal. That's up here. This has 6 health. He's gone, but so is he, which is huge because that guy was annoying. And I get to draw a card. Then we come here. Fight is summon a horde card into the rightmost lane. Ooh, that looks horrible. Deals 1 damage to all enemies within 1 lane. I do gain, I guess I forgot to do this. I'm forgetting to gain up there. I can gain basically more spending power. It's what allows me to keep up with stuff. But I'm fine with what I did. So I'm gonna block that 1 damage and take this guy out. That's another card draw. Then I'm gonna take this guy out. They're minions, they're basically a horde, so they're never completely gone. They take my guy out, which is why you don't get the card draw from them. And then 4 damage coming through to our base. Now let's just grab a 5 damager. Now we have a slight reprieve because we still get our 4. So we're up to 8. And we don't add a horde card. So this guy just slides all the way down to the end. We need 5 to take him out. He has so much attack that we're just going to bring this guy over. Hits for 5. The setup, just, we can take him out. Over here, no reason to do that right now. I would like to get out enough damage, 5 damage, to be able to take out the enemy base. I'm going to spend 3. Oh, but I'm not quite sure I'm ready for that. So it's 8 down to 5. And then 3. Because I forgot, I need to discard a card. I still have that one guy there. You know what? I'll say, okay, let's pull him down here. We'll actually swap the order. No, we're going to keep the order. And let's fight. First off, Treachery. A spell. Deal 1 damage to the ally engaged with boosted monster. So 1 damage there. That just means they're hitting even harder. They hit for 5 now. Which be great if they had trample. They don't have trample, so kind of a moot point with that one. So then let's look at how this plays out. Fight. Deal 1 damage to all allies within 1 lane. This guy takes, fortunately, another damage there. Bummer. So they're going to be gone. And then over here we trade. So they're gone and they are gone. I get to draw a card for that though. Here they're gone and they're gone. It's not an ideal trade. Then here, this just goes straight through. And he has Fight Assault 1, which means he can deal a damage to the enemy's post, which puts us up to 5 out of the 6 that we need to defeat the first level. Then, once that happens, things are going to change a little bit. So, we wrap up that in the end phase. We could discard down to 7 cards if we had that many. We gain our mana, which is 4. This continues around. Up here we have a 1, so we're looking to add 1 card here. We have the Hell Carnivore. Fight, deal 1 damage to all allies within 1 lane. So, guy we just saw shows up again. No trample or anything like that. That's nice. First off, let's get... Well, we're going to move him down there. I have to get up to 5. So I'm going to exhaust this, spending 1 of its tokens to add +1 for the turn. I'm then going to spend 4 to put this guy into play. We're going to exhaust him as well. Another ally gets +1 for the remainder of the turn. So now I'm up to 5. As long as... I don't think there's any way to add health to them. And I kept my guys far enough away that I'm not too worried about it. I could pay a mana to deal 1 damage just right now. But I'm already going to do that in the fight. So, I'm going to not do anything more. I can't get this one into play. Costs 3. We flip here. Okay, well, it's going to add 1 damage. Actually, I should have had 1 more to spend. But it doesn't bleed over anyways, so I want to have played this guy out. There's really no need to do that yet. So, now he has 5 attack. On his attack, he deals 1 to each in the lane. This attack is going to wipe out this first part of the tower, or first part of the enemy's portal. And then we have 5 attack here, 4 attack here, they take each other out. And I get to draw another card. Now, this is gone. Tells us that at the end of the Horde phase, we're bringing in this first level of the bad guy. But let's start first by doing our dear old lone killer over here. And it's going to deal 2 damage to the engaged ally. So it has the potential to wipe somebody out first, because you resolve the Horde fight abilities first. I have to make sure I have somebody with enough health to deal with them. This guy is going to come in now over here. When he plays, strikes the ally he's engaged with, otherwise he strikes the castle. So our castle takes 4 damage. So we're halfway dead at this point because we didn't have anybody out and engaged with him. So let's look at what we're going to do here, because he has 2 armor, which means it's annoying to try and get through him. This guy's not going to be too bad. He's going to deal 2 damage immediately, then attack, take somebody out, but I'll be able to take somebody out with at the same time as him. So now I gain 6 more. I want to spend for sure to get stuff into play. Let's start out actually by spending 1 mana to either deal 1 damage to this or draw a card. Let's draw a card. All right, Dragon Punch. Play. For the remainder of the turn, an ally gains +3 attack, trample, and the text, this ally may deal trample damage to a minion instead of the portal. Oh, that actually is great, though. So I want to save 2 for sure, because then I will go here and here. We're going to spend the last one off of this guy. And that's going to give us +1 attack to both our guys. And in all fairness, you might catch some mistakes in this. I have played it a few times. I enjoy it quite well, but there's a bunch of moving parts. And then I'm going to spend 2 to add +3 attack. I'm just going to put it right below this guy so we know what's going on. And trample. So we come here, we flip, add +1 to this guy's attack. He's hitting for 5. That's kind of a moot point. We knew he was going to take him out. And actually, this is the first one I had him play. After you play an ally, Bushido Officer gets +1 to attack for the remainder of this turn. So we are at a 5, 6, 7, 8 for his hit. That's going to be good. We come here. This guy deals 2 damage. Then they both take each other out. I get a card draw out of that. I have another tower. Ooh, Landshaker. That can just deal 2 damage to a monster. Now, I wish this guy had any sort of armor on him, because with armor, I'd be able to not die, potentially. But as it is, this guy has armor. I'm still hitting for 8, excuse me. So, even with that combination, he's soaking 3. We take him out. He takes us out. We get a little reprieve here. But not that much, because now I only have 1 character left to play, This rotates. I bump up 6 and attachment. There's nobody to attach to this to. So long. I will spend 3. And I'm not going to do anything. No, I'm going to spend 1 to exhaust that to draw a card. We have another steam tower. 3. Let's do this. Let's put it in play for 1. Comes in with 3 health tokens on it. We're immediately going to spend 1, exhausting it, to add +1 to this guy, because now we have this. If that had been something that maybe had a spell effect, it could have happened. It doesn't. This gets hit for 5. So the big thing with that is now we have the second part of the Hatebringer coming into play. That's not necessarily great. And as you can see, this one has zeros around it. It doesn't add anything in. It just rotates, 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 rotates. So we're kind of in that final showdown. Unfortunately, I'm stuck trying to take him out with his armor of 3. And I don't have great cards for that. So, nothing is drawn. This comes into play. He gains +1 and trample for the remainder of the turn. We gain our, I forgot to do that, our 4 to 8. We're going to subtract that, add 1 attack here. No, we're not going to subtract that yet. To add 1 attack here. The reason for that is, first things first, I need to expend to draw something. That's not useful. So I'm going to move over here. Why? I'll put this in for 2. It has 2 health on it. It's going to block some of the damage. Basically, it blocks enough damage that only 4 comes through. It's gone. I'm down to 6 health. So 2 more turns that I have to figure out how this works. He hits for 3 and 1 on this guy, but it has infinite health. Basically, there's no end to this round. Oh, I forgot to do that. Okay, we're down to 1 hit left. With 1 hit left, I mean, I have to block next time, but for sure, to start, we gain our 4. I'm going to spend 1 to draw a card. Going to spend 1, put this guy in play, draw a card. Not that useful. But now we're going to cheese a little bit. By that I mean I'm going to put this guy over here. I'm not going to spend anything here. We come here. +1 to the attack of the Hatebringer. I just return this. It's blocked. I believe. Let me double check this actually. Make sure that I can cheese it like I think I am. No, he'd be unopposed at that point. So I'm just going to leave him in play. He takes all the damage. Repeat the process. We gain... Actually, I should have spent 2 more. But we go up all the way. Spend 1. Draw a card. Come on. have an ally Shadow. This can be attached to an ally Bushido. Which, if it could survive that, it could survive the hit from the big guy, would hit again. Of course, nothing doing there. I'm going to spend 2. Let's see what we have. +1 damage. Takes out this guy. Gain mana. Move down here. Flip it over. Spend 2. +1 to attack. I'm looking for something I can combo with this guy. I need to be able to deal 6 damage with him. This doesn't help. 2 damage to a monster in a lane is a separate set of damage. This guy has 3 armor. I can't get through it with this spell. So I'll spend... I go up, spend 1. As you can see, I'm not really changing anything. Oh, this is intriguing. Here we go. So, 5. I put in Yamai. In play, for the remainder of this turn, an ally gains elusive 1. But the big thing is I have 5 damage here. So I said I needed 8. The thing is I don't have enough health. I need 1 more health than I have. Because I can spend 1 here to boost that up to 6, but I need 7. Assault. So no. They go over here. You slide in. 3. Okay, so if I bump this by 1, I'm going to use 1 off of here because now I place 1 damage on there to take him. He's down to only needing 6 damage to take him out. I'm sitting at 5. As long as 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as this works out this time. Technically, there was an additional damage. Moot point. I spend 1. I get the lightning Naginata. I spend 1. I attach it. That is +2 to attack. So, we draw this, as long as it's not something weird. +2 damage, or +1 damage. So this is a 6/4. Over here, we have a 7/4. Or 6/3, really, at this point, with 3 armor. I have no armor over here, so we attack. With this attack coming in, we have 7 damage. I could even bump it up to 8. It's a moot point, though. 7 damage minus 3 for the armor against his 3 health. We take him out. And over here, he takes us out as well. And we went through over half our deck of cards there. Like I said, we don't always do that. If we hadn't been able to draw all those random guys, that would have taken us out. Because he was hitting for 5. We could not have taken another unblocked attack on our castle. Which, I mean, that's what I really like about this game. Like about Skytear Horde. Put it up here so we can see it. It's just the box cover. This is a fun puzzle of a game. It looks epic. I mean, it has very epic looking art. Here's a tower we could have used. Thankfully, there's so many allies in here, but I mean, it's really tough because there's not that much. I guess there's another dragon punch we could have used. Like, this guy is great, but doesn't have enough health. We need some way to boost health. There's another sword. So we were actually set up decently well to be able to pull what we needed, except for the fact that we really were in a position where we needed to have guys on the board. So we got lucky by being able to draw them so consistently. Had we not been able to, yeah, that was a done deal. We would have lost. But there you have it. There is Skytear Horde. That solo play, I mean, it says it's a 30-minute game, and with me talking through everything and playing it out, that was a 30-minute game. So, I mean, that's pretty good when it's a board game that's that truthful in how long it actually takes. But with that, thank you so much for watching. Things to know about. Streaming here every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. Wednesdays are my bigger campaign games. I'm currently playing through kind of the start of ISS Vanguard to give you an idea of how the game plays and kind of the story of what is going on. I probably will be wrapping that up in about, well, a couple more weeks, a couple more Wednesdays, because I don't want to give away too much, and I'm at a point where I feel like I'm starting to learn some stuff there, but I also haven't delved so deeply into the story that I need to know what's going to happen next, but also that I feel like I'm going to have spoiled it for myself if I stop it now and then play with other people. So really, I'm hitting an end point at this at a really good time. After that, I'm not sure what game I'm going to stream next. Probably Isofarian Guard. That is a big game that I unboxed not that long ago on the channel if you want to check that out. Also, I post articles daily over on nerdologists.com where I write about board games and all sorts of other nerdy things. So if you want more content besides just the streaming stuff, that's a great place to check it out. I also have a Marvel podcast called 10 Minute Marvel that comes out every Tuesday morning. So if you want to check out the latest episode, I'll be coming out soon. But the easiest way to know when new video content, stuff like that, comes out is simply to subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel, clicking that notification bell, it's going to let you know whenever I go live. But with that, thank you so much for watching, and bottoms up.